Oh, y'all saw me. I started out slow because we got dignitaries on the show. I can't be acting up. Oh, get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live once more again with another episode of my worthless 2 cents table talk. And look, if y'all looking, I hope y'all looking. I hope y'all looking at the ball. I got dressed up. I did. I put on my look him. That's a Stacey Adams. Stacey. I got me some Stacey Adams on. Cause my mama always told me, she said, when you got good people's coming, you need to dress up. So I got dressed up tonight. Cause look here, we got the dignitary. We got the honorable folks in the house tonight. And old country boy is tickle green. I was gonna say pink, but I'm tickle green tonight, green and gold. That I am tickled. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna shut up here in a minute, but y'all, whew, I hope y'all ready. You know, I used to start my thing off, and I'm gonna do it tonight because this is a special. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Look at here. I have. That's all I'm gonna say. I have. Y'all just look over there. Y'all see the name. It say Mayor. I have. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, old country boy, I'm finna shut up and I'm finna let him have his way. So, you know what I always say. Sit back, relax, put on your headgear. Oh, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor. Put something in their ear. Have your way, my friend.
Hey, appreciate that, Donnie. Man, I appreciate you for having me on, man. For those of y'all who don't know me, my name is OLandis Millican. I serve as the mayor here in Arcadia, Louisiana. I'm here up for re-election for my second term. And I just want to talk about, the growth that we've experienced, within these past 2 years. And whenever I'm speaking, about the town of Arcadia or, like what we've done, I always speak in we, as a whole, because none of it is possible without the people's support. And we've accomplished so much. And when you look at all the obstacles that we had to overcome with it, we dealt with a flood 2019 that flooded, most of the main area of Arcadia. Um, we dealt with the tornado as well as the global pandemic of 2020. Then we dealt with the snowstorm of 2021. And the good thing about it, the things that we did to capitalize on some of those things, we invested in our infrastructure to where when those things happen, those catastrophic events happen, other areas lost running water and sewer, access to sewer. Arcadia was enough to continue to have that. So, we campaigned 5 years ago with five key goals. We focused on economic development, community development, financial stewardship. We campaigned on cleaning up abandoned properties and focusing on our youth. We accomplished so much within that time, like I say, with the obstacles in front of us. And we still have so much more work that can be done. And I look forward to these next 4 years if I'm re-elected here in Arcadia. I can say, we dealt with, some trials and tribulations, at like any other place, the grass ain't always green on the other side. It ain't what everybody thought, especially me, working in the mayor's office for 4 years. I thought that the town, was, you know, in a better shape than what we actually was. That turned out to not to be true. We was losing, and still is, roughly $250,000 a year on the outlet mall on maintenance and repairs. We're not receiving that revenue back because we don't have anybody in there. So we're in the process of getting that building sold. By the end of August, that building should be closed. We should be sold off of it, off from under it, and we should be going on about our business with that. We upgraded our parks, as far as starting the Parks and Recreation program here in Arcadia. We started our tackle football league. When I first became the mayor, we was traveling and wrestling, playing in that tackle football league. We worked hard. We created our own. We had it right here at Arcadia High School. And that just gives something for the youth to do. Before the pandemic, we even had our own T-ball league that went pretty good that summer of 2019. The pandemic stopped all that stuff. So it's been a hard time trying to get it back started up. We've tried to bridge the gap as much as possible as well from different social events. And when I say bridge the gap, I mean bridge the gap from social disparity, from racial disparity here in Arcadia. And we want to make it known that, hey, we are for all people here in Arcadia. because it's the thing. We had a Mardi Gras ball and it brought all types of people together and we celebrated and party under one roof. And it can be done, especially the world that we're dealing with right now and the world that we're in right now.
Yes.
We need unity, and we brought forth unity here in Arcadia. I campaigned 4 years ago, and I did a monthly prayer, unity in the community prayer. We did that monthly, and we prayed for the town of Arcadia and uniting Arcadia. And we're not starting to see, I guess that seed that we planted with prayer, we're starting to see the growth of that seed that we planted. Now we've even started back up. We started back up this year after the pandemic. We just want to grow, the town, and we want to follow God's lead on what He has for the plan for Arcadia. We could plan a lot of things. We had a lot of plans planned before the global pandemic, but God said, "Hold on, wait. We're gonna do this my way." And He told the world that it wasn't just Arcadia. He told the world that, "Stop. We're gonna do things my way." You've never seen the country shut down, and we was able to survive a global pandemic here in Arcadia. With God leading us. So in 2022, we started this thing that we do a monthly prayer at the town hall, and we pray for the town every month. We invite people. It's every morning. I mean, it's every second Monday morning at 7:45. It's 15 minutes. We pray for the town, and you go ahead on and go on about your day, to work, and have a good day at work. Um, we've been, out in the forefront, trying to be visible in everything that we do, from upgrading our sewer system, sewer and water system. Since I've been the mayor, we've updated 4 water wells at the average cost of $80,000 per well. We've updated our sewer system. So we spent well over $600,000 upgrading our infrastructure, because people would always say, if the infrastructure isn't strong, the business is not going to come. So our goal is upgrading the infrastructure. Here, our focus for the next 4 years is upgrading the median income for Arcadia. How do we do that? We focus and partner with the school, Beyond Parish School Board, on how can we get kids to graduate with associate degrees or trades through dual enrollment. If the parish is going to pay for it, let's take advantage of that. I've been in constant contact with Pafford EMS here in Arcadia, Greg Pafford, the owner, and we're trying to get an EMT class started in the schools for juniors and seniors. And we're trying to kick that off this August. And if we can kick that off, you change the mindset and you change the wealth mentality of the whole community as a whole. If a kid can finish high school making $45,000 a year, that changed the mindset. That put money back into the community. That generates revenue. We've been busy, like supporting businesses. We're actually about to kick off this initiative. It was supposed to get kicked off right before the pandemic done it. The pandemic threw everything aside, to where small businesses, we're going to have a quarterly small business empowerment session, to where we'll have business owners come in. We're going to pay for a speaker, whether it's someone with the SBA, someone with a local bank, telling all of the different loans and the different opportunities that are out there for small businesses, and helping those people and assisting those small businesses with securing those funds. We all know that the first 3 years of a business is the most critical. So we've opened at least 12 new businesses here in Arcadia just this year alone. How the goal is, how do we keep them open? It's a good thing when you open them. How do we keep them open? And I feel like that's going to be a big thing, that we're going to push for and support with getting those things open. We're also in 2020, we supported our Main Street program. We was in Lanyap State right at the beginning of 2020, the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. We were supposed to do a full year in Lanyap State. Basically, what it is just like you're getting people getting the process started on doing a Main Street program for Louisiana Main Street for our downtown businesses. Our focus now is we're going to focus on downtown, because I tell people all the time, economic development don't start until you start grassroots businesses in small towns. That's the only way we can grow economic development here in Arcadia. It's going to take the community to invest in the community. And we've seen that, all the businesses here that we've opened has been local business, local people born and raised here in Arcadia trying to start a business here in Arcadia. And we're going to do our best to try to help them and make sure they stay afloat. As far as, like financial stewardship part, we had at least, I would say, 14 to 15 audit findings when I first took office from the previous administration. We've cleaned those audit findings up. We just finished our last audit in June. On June 30th, we finished our last audit. We had 2.5 audit findings, and I say 2.5 because one of them was partially corrected. And it just shows the work that we put in on the ground, in the office, on how to improve Arcadia and make Arcadia a better place. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. When we focus on the quality of life as far as running water, sewer, and the necessities of life with lights, that kind of stuff matters to the residents. Everything else comes afterwards. Once we make sure that our water is flowing perfectly, our sewer is flowing perfectly. Everything else falls below that. And we're doing everything that we can. We just applied for a water sector grant. We applied for $2 million. We're waiting to hear back from the state for that to continue to improve our water system and sewer system. And that's what it's all about, man. As long as we're improving stuff, and working hard to improve it, it's only going to get better. And that's when the businesses come. When the infrastructure is there, we've been in contact with different companies on expanding broadband here in Arcadia. Majority of Arcadia has broadband internet, but in some areas that don't. One of those areas is being where I live at. We don't have high speed internet in my neighborhood where I stay, and we're trying to expand that. And that's another one of those things where infrastructure is important. Build the infrastructure, the people are going to come. And basically, I call it the foundation. You can't build a building without a foundation. And we're trying to lay a firm foundation. And we've been working hard to try to lay that firm foundation. Community enhancement, man. We tore down last year, I think at least 10 to 11 abandoned properties. Everybody in the country is dealing with blighted property. Everybody. I mean, it's a problem everywhere across the country. And we took the initiative. We tore down 11 to 12 houses last year. And we're going to continue to tear down those blighted abandoned properties to try to make the community look better. When you get rid of that old abandoned property in that neighborhood, that changed the mindset of the community. And now everybody wants their yard to look good. Everybody wants that old abandoned car at their front yard. And that's our goal, to make sure that Arcadia looks as good as we present it, and our thing is we're going to market Arcadia. Excuse my language, but we're going to market the hell out of Arcadia, to make sure that, hey, Arcadia is the best place to live. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to retire. It's a great place to raise a family. And that's just been one of the things, some of the things that we've been doing within these 4 years. And 4 years, these next 4 years, if reelected, we plan on striving and working hard to accomplish more of those goals, and building on more of those goals. We brought community involvement in as far as having, we started a tree lighting ceremony last year to where we want to do it annually, to where we light the Christmas tree in the downtown park, and make it just an annual event for families to come out and interact and mingle with each other. We also started the Crew of Arcadia Mardi Gras Ball, where we partner with a nonprofit organization, anyone with 501c3. You submit it to us and you say, hey, and we'll look over it and go over it and see, hey, okay, this is the nonprofit we'll support this year. Last year, this year, in February, our nonprofit was CASA, court-appointed special advocates for kids. It was the Beyond Parish branch of CASA, and we donated over $3,000 to them, from the proceeds of the Mardi Gras Ball. So we was able to enjoy a nice event for Mardi Gras, the first Mardi Gras Ball ever held in Arcadia. We was able to enjoy a nice event for Mardi Gras in Arcadia, and we was able to be a blessing to someone else. And that's what it's all about, working together, striving, pushing, to make things happen. We also had the situation with the Chicken Festival. We started the Chicken Festival in 2019. It was a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The pandemic threw a wrinkle in it. We just had our second annual Chicken Festival this past July. And we raised $30,000 in sponsorships for that event. And we was able to put that event on at no cost to the town of Arcadia. All that came from community stakeholders. House of Record was our biggest investor. They gave a $10,000 donation, and the whole thing was, hey, we want to be involved in the community as much as y'all want us involved into it. And that's what it's all about. Reaching out to your stakeholders, making sure, hey, what are your needs that you need as a community stakeholder that we can do, and what can you do for us? It's got to be, we help each other in order to succeed. And we've been working hard to try to get that done.
Man, that is, Mr. Mayor, I tell you, that's wonderful. And what I say is initiating the fact of having the community join together. That's what I've seen in a lot of communities is over here and over there. And people don't understand that how the community grows is just when you join together to make it better. And, but it has to have that person that's taking that, I talk about leaders, man. Everybody don't want to be a leader because, man, them same ones that be woo-hooing for you be like, But, it takes a person that wants to stand up and be that leader and say, hey, you know what? We can do better. We can do better, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to lead this thing. And all the stuff that you're talking about and growing. See, and I don't know if anybody listening knows, where you from? Where your home?
I stay in Arcadia. Louisiana on College Street. Yes, sir.
Look, it's not like he just came from somewhere else to come there. And that's the great part about it is that from little up, you've seen it, and you've had
Mm-hmm.
you can be like, you know what, I see, and this is what I can see it going. And that's a great thing because it's not like what they used to tell me. The thing about you is you have skin in the game.
Right.
It's not like, oh, if it fails, then I'm okay. If it goes down, then you're a part of it. And what you're doing, what I hear that you're doing, is making every citizen feel like, hey, this is yours too. It ain't just mine. This is each and every one of ours. And that's what leadership is about. That part right there is
Mm-hmm.
including everybody, not being exclusive, but being inclusive.
Right, right. And that's the biggest thing, even with serving on the board of the North Louisiana Economic Partnership, we worked tirelessly, to secure the deal for the House of Record expansion. They expanded and built a new feed mill. It was a multi-million-dollar expansion project. We worked hard to expand it. And they, like I said, they did the feed mill in Simsboro, Louisiana. They increased the line speed. They hired over 100 direct jobs right here in Arcadia.
Wow.
They raised the start income, the starting pay at the House of Record now is $13 an hour. When I became the mayor, it was less than that. It was $9 an hour. Well, now it's $13 an hour to help out with inflation. And they got different incentives that Jeremy Powell is up there putting in, to try to make this thing work. And you got to have stakeholders that care about the community. And Jeremy Powell is one of those ones. As the complex manager at the House of Record, he care about the community. Um, Even with that, we also work, and it didn't directly affect Arcadia on with me serving on the board of the NLEP, but we secured the meal right there in Ada Taylor. Well, for anybody, that's in the logging business or, in the trucking business, that's beneficial to them because now you have a meal to where you can go and offload your loads and you can go and load a flatbed and get right there off the interstate and right back on if you stay right here in the Arcadia area. And that benefits the parish as a whole. And that kind of stuff is important, when we focus on everybody as a whole, everybody wins.
Yeah.
Because we're only as strong as we put out. Nothing we can do or say can make us stronger than what we actually put out. If you can say a lot of stuff, but if you don't hit the ground running and put the work in, it won't happen.
Right.
Um, I was good. It was a good thing, that during the pandemic, the CARES Act funding, we was the only municipality in Bayonne Parish to secure funds from the CARES Act funding. We secured over $300,000 from the CARES Act funding during the pandemic, and like I said, we was the only municipality in Bayonne Parish to secure those. Other municipalities weren't able to secure those funds, and it was needed during that time. Revenue was down, and everything came to a standstill. So okay, how can we make sure Arcadia stay afloat? And that's what we did. We applied for different grants. Anything that the federal government was putting out there, we tried to get it. And that was our goal. That's the only way we can make Arcadia better. If they're gonna give away free money, hey, we're gonna take advantage of it. And that's what
Right.
we pursued, and that's what we tried to do. And we're still pursuing it, even with the water sector grant. The water sector grant is going to be good if we secure those funding. And what we got planned for that water sector grant money, if we receive it, if we're awarded that money, we plan to build a new water tower here in Arcadia. The last time Arcadia got a new water tower was in 1996. That was the last time. The last time it got inspected was like probably 8 years ago, before 2020. So we have to get that kind of stuff done, and we have to focus on that. That stuff is important, and we seen it. Like I say, with the flood in 2019, we seen it with the snowstorm. We seen it with the tornado that came through. We even seen it with the hurricane. When the
Right.
hurricane came through, from Ruston, Grambling, all the way was coming to Arcadia for goods and services, and we was able to provide that for them because we invested in our infrastructure.
Man, and that is so, to have the vision, and that's what it requires. Leadership honestly requires having a vision, not having tunnel vision, but seeing the bigger picture. And the fact of you um, stepping in there. I'm sure that what was it, 4 years ago, you probably had, like you said, you probably didn't have any idea what was on the flip side of that table. You probably thought like, oh man, whoo, it's gonna be breezy. But the fact is that you stepped into it. You stepped up and you stepped in and you stepped out there, and you hit the ground running. If there was something
Right. Right.
You know, a lot of places, I guess, I don't know. I've never been a mayor. They don't nobody want to elect me. I'm gonna go back to Mayberry or somebody. But you know, the thing is that hitting the ground running, and you know, you face these obstacles, but a lot of people will turn and run from the obstacle. But what it seems like, and everything that you're saying with the growth that has happened and the change that has happened and continually growing, you know, some people want to stay small. That's your I don't know what that
Right.
is. Some people want to stay in that little old thing because they become comfortable on that hamster wheel, and it's just this. But when you have that vision, like, now we can do this, we can expand, but these are the things that are required. It's like you hit the ground running, and whether it was a brick wall right there, you're like, all right, well, we're gonna face this brick wall, we're gonna tear it down, then we're gonna move to the next one. How difficult was it, like, just when you walked in there the first day?
The first day was pretty rough. I would go into detail, but I don't know who all on. But it was pretty rough the first day. We had. I'm about to tell you, like I literally contemplated quitting the first day.
Wow.
We had a few bills on my desk that came in. We had some insurance that needed to be paid. We had payroll that was due, and numbers didn't match up to where hey, let's make this happen. So one of the things are like, hey, what have I gotten myself into? But we was able to sustain it, and stay afloat, and make that stuff happen.
Right.
Uh, and the work that we put in, and trying to correct all those problems, man, it's been rough. It's been a hard road. When the water superintendent came in and told me, hey, gave me a bond of this thick and said, hey, this everything you need to know. And I'm like, man, what is this? Like, this ain't what I signed up for. I thought I was just gonna be shaking hands and kissing babies. But like, and I just, I done learned it. Even like, he took me out to the sewer plant. Hey, you gotta do
Right.
this, and this. We gotta make sure this stuff's straight. This is what we gotta do on a daily. And it was like one of those things where, okay, even though I worked for the town for 4 years before becoming the mayor, these
Right.
was things that was covered, from me that I can see. These was
Right.
things that I didn't see directly. Now, like I said, it was on the job learning, and we're still learning, and I think if you got a mayor that's been in office for 20 years, he's still learning. He or she is still learning.
Right.
It's the state change laws constantly, things change constantly. People change, seasons change. It's one of those things to where you're gonna forever learn. And you're gonna forever be faced with obstacles. The only problem is, how do you overcome those obstacles? What do you do to overcome those obstacles? And I think we've maintained pretty good with overcoming all the obstacles that's been thrown in our way.
Man, that's great. Well, I'm gonna say this, and I ain't plugging them because I don't even know them. But what I do know is this: in order to be such an effective leader, you have to have a team around you that also buys into the vision that you have. That's what a lot of people miss. They think they can lead on their own, but if you don't have a team that's surrounding you that's fundamentally sound, that buys into the bigger vision. Because I'm sure that some, I don't know, but I'm sure that some were like, oh no, I like the hamster wheel. I don't know why you trying to change it. But if you can, and that takes a lot for you to be able to say, look, let me set you down and tell you what the bigger picture is and how we can accomplish it. And I like when you said that in the beginning. It's we. It's our town. It's not my town. It's ours.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's the biggest thing. We created a committee with planning events throughout the year. And we did it, with a racial divide, to where we had, different people from different areas of the community. That way we can hear different opinions and different perspectives on things, because we can hear from a certain group of people and won't hear from a different group of people. And it's one of those things to where you got to understand their opinion or their outlook on it, just like they got to understand our opinion and our outlook on it in order for something to work. And it's been real successful, man, with the committee that we got. I got to give kudos to them. Even the town employees, man, I got to give kudos to them because, like I say, it's a we thing. Nothing gets done without we putting in the work. If we don't put in the work, then it don't get done. And we all got to work together. I mean, like even with making sure your grass stay cut. That's a we thing. I can't cut your grass. The town can't cut your grass. It's up to you to cut your grass. You buy into the vision that, hey, we want to clean up Arcadia. Once you buy into that vision, then we're accomplishing this. It's not just hey, this is what I did. This is what I did. I did this. I did that. It's no I. In time. It's a W in there. It's a W in there. So it's all about we. And that I always reflect to stuff. And I say we. whenever, I'm talking about Arcadia, it's always we, because like I say, I'm only as strong as the people that standing behind me, which is the citizens. The citizens, they hold me accountable, and it's my job to make sure I'm satisfying their needs, and making sure, doing stuff on the right judgment to make sure we move Arcadia forward.
And that's what it's all about. And like I said, just listening to some of, if y'all don't know this whole country, well, I was down in Arcadia for about 2 minutes. And to now when I look back there and the growth and the things that you're talking about and all the expansions that have happened, since the time that I've been gone, that's for me, that's the amazing thing. That's what it's supposed to be about. That's how it's supposed to be. Not only just growing in business, but then what you're talking about is you're trying to you I'm finna make this thing where people want to come here. And look here, y'all bring your kids on, bring it, the whole family can come here now. It's changing the perspective of a place, because sometimes a place can get a bad eye, and all they want to do is just leave it there. But it's about, what, we finna go in here and change this whole perspective. And I know that takes time, but you have to want to do it. And then again, it's that thing again, making everybody else buy into the vision. We can do this.
Right, absolutely. And we actually have a company now that we've been partnering with, the Amsterdam company, that's been coming in, renovating houses, to sell. They've been going in completely gutting out houses, completely renovating, granite countertop, hardwood floor, crown mold, and the whole 9 yards. Brand new kitchens, bathrooms, everything. They've been coming in. They're on their third house right now. And what we're doing is we're soliciting people to move to Arcadia. Like, hey, Arcadia is a better place to live. A lot of people can say, hey, well, I'd rather stay in Ruston. But can you afford a house in Ruston? You see what I'm saying? Like, the housing market in Ruston is pretty high. And there's no knock on Ruston. It's just one of those things to where, hey, we're telling people that, hey, we're just as good as Ruston, or any other area around. Come live in a small town feel. You get a nice house, in a small town for a cheaper price, and you get to live and enjoy life in a small town environment.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing, that we're trying to do as far as, like building the community up. Because once you bring the people in, then the revenue builds up, because they're going to go into butchers and shop. They're going to go into the restaurants. Even with we just recently opened up a tattoo parlor here in Arcadia, Rich Ink, with Tradarius Tobin. And it was one of those things to where, hey, he'd been at it. This is the first legal tattoo parlor that we've had in Guillaume Parish. And it's right here in Arcadia. That's an Arcadia resident from Arcadia. He did it right here. We just opened up a beauty bar on 2nd Street, Jasmine Avenue, Jasmine Robinson and Shanika Rose. The first beauty bar, that do eyebrows, focus on eyebrows and hair right here in Arcadia. We opened up grassroots people, born and raised here in Arcadia. Joseph Pruitt, he opened up a barber school right here in Arcadia. Him and Darryl Sneed and his wife, right here in Arcadia residents. We got a barber college right here in Arcadia. Basically what we're saying is, hey, we got everything that you need. Steve Hawson just opened up Wayne Seafood, first seafood restaurant in Arcadia. And it's just one of those things to where, hey, we're just building on the momentum that's right here, that's out there. And like I say, what we're going to do as a town, we're going to do everything that we can by starting these empowerment sessions to make sure we help them and staying open, to where, as long as you're open, Arcadia is benefiting off of it. We're actually in the works. I talked with some investors today, and we're in the works of opening up a new car dealership in Arcadia, a state-of-the-art car dealership that's going to be built from the ground up here in Arcadia. We're also in the works of doing a hotel. The plan is to do a hotel on the south side of the interstate, beside the event center. We had the deal. It was a done deal before the pandemic. The pandemic happened. Now, after the pandemic passed over, the feds and raised the interest rate to where it's one of those things where now he's sitting back waiting, on the interest rates to fall down. But we plan on getting, a new hotel in Arcadia, as well as, the other thing, and these are just things that's going to happen or that's in the works. We're working on getting a Waffle House here in Arcadia as well. So be looking for those things, within the next year, those things going to happen. We're speaking into existence. We've been in talks with it. And we know that these things are going to happen right here in Arcadia. Investors that are ready to invest in Arcadia. And what our job is to do is build an I-20 corridor while also focusing on our downtown grassroots businesses that's in downtown Arcadia.
Man, that is. Look, you had me over here wild. Like, wait a minute, hold on, you go, boy. I'm gonna come back down 20, and I'm gonna come back down 20. I'm gonna think I'm already in Monroe. Yeah, no, this all.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Where that come from? Hold up. But
Right.
man, that is but that's what it's about. That is what it's about. And to be able to, Mr. Mayor, to be able to have people, the most amazing thing to me that you said was you have people that are from there. See, that's what people miss. People that are from there that are willing to open businesses there. See, because people only want to open a business where they think they're going to make it at. I'm going to just tell the truth. People just ain't finna open a business where they think they ain't going to survive. And to have people from there go like, I want it right here. I want it right here.
Absolutely.
That says
Absolutely.
a lot right there. That speaks volumes. And that's in any town. That's even here in the big city. If people go back, you know what? I'm gonna open this store in my old neighborhood. That says I can do it right here. And when you have people coming back or not even leaving, but just there in town saying, you know what? This is my first business, but I'm gonna do it here.
I'm going to invest right here. And we actually
Yeah.
had, like the first hookah lounge, we got a hookah lounge right here in Arcadia, to where like, hey, this is the hookah lounge is right here in Arcadia. It's owned by Charles Tibbs, Arcadia resident, lifelong resident of Arcadia. And basically, he served chicken wings off from out there too. He partnered with some guys from Arcadia that own West Town Wings. And all that stuff, is grassroots people,
Yes.
homegrown people starting grassroots businesses. It's not all about a franchise or a big name. It's like, what can I do with my own brand to grow my business and my brand? And our goal is to help them and support their brand and them maintain their brand. And our job is to do whatever we got to do as the town to make sure that business stay afloat.
Man, and that is amazing. That is amazing. And that when you have those two entities working together, you have people that are there, and then the town believes in them at the same time. You know, the town can only have so much influence, but can you imagine here you are, and I'm gonna start my business right back here at home. And wait a minute, you know what? Even the town helped me. So the first thing I want to do is I'm gonna spread the news. Like, look here, man, you need to come on up here because this is what they did for me. This is how look how we got it. And that's what people miss. You could talk about Arcadia all day by yourself, but when you have the citizens and the residents, that's what
Hmm.
changes. That's what flips the game right there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I tell people all the time, excitement breeds excitement. Throughout these 4 years, we opened up a supply store, sell cleaning supplies, paper supplies, all that good stuff, right in downtown Arcadia. And it's called Zoom Paper Supply, owned by Donald Russell, a local businessman, a local pastor here in the area. And we do everything we can to support him. All of our businesses matter. All of them matter. And what we do is we strive, like I say, strive. We work hard to try to see, hey, what can we do to support these businesses and make them better, while at the same time focusing on moving Arcadia forward.
Right, right, right. Well, it sounds like that thing on some skates, baby. It
Yes,
sounds
sir.
like it's on
Yes,
some
sir.
skates. And
Yes, sir.
that is amazing. That is amazing too. Within and I within a short period, and it has been. I mean, what is 4 years?
Hmm.
That is a short
Yeah, four
period
years.
to
Four
come
years.
in and man and to have that much growth in that time and in that time period. That just means that not only do people believe in the city, but they also believe in the leadership of the city and where it's going. That's what it says. To me, that's what it says. Because if
Yes,
it
sir.
wasn't, then
Yes,
you'd
sir.
have all this over here and this
Yes, sir.
over here, and But it sounds like everybody is bought into it, and they can see the brighter future. They can see them big bright lights. Like, oh, and that's good. That's good. That's a positive thing that you have brought
Yes, sir.
to your leadership.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the thing. We just plan to build on it. Now, uh, plan to another 4 years. Our goal is to start building upwards. We've laid the foundation and we're ready to just build and keep running with the vision. and with the goals that we have in mind.
So let me ask you. All right. So now is and I'm gonna get into something you said. The mall, the outlet mall, and that what it is? The one right there on 20. So is that going to be open or something else? Is that just going to somebody's
Yes,
just
sir.
going?
So basically, the buyer that we have in place for it is Jane Marie Wholesale. Jane Marie Wholesale, they actually sell different things and they ship them out. So it's more of a distribution center for Jane Marie, but he's also
Okay.
going to solicit people to come and maintain, open up businesses in the other empty suites. So he's using the
Okay.
Vanity Fair suite as his wholesale warehouse to where he's shipping stuff out daily. And he's shipping stuff out to Atlanta, Dallas, Vegas. He got stuff in gift shops in Vegas, in Buc-ee's in Texas and all the Buc-ee's all around. And he's just doing bulk shipments and sending that stuff out. And that's a benefit to Arcadia. It created 50 direct jobs right here in Arcadia. And that's one of those things to where he's taking the headache off of us. He's creating jobs and he's creating tax revenue. It's a win-win-win for us, here in Arcadia.
Man, that is wow. That is to be able to go out and again, a business is just not gonna go somewhere. They just ain't gonna just because you say Arcadia, especially somebody's gonna spend lots of money to put a business. They just not gonna do it. But they have to see what the benefit is long term. And obviously they have seen what the growth gonna look like, what it has already been. And if it's already here, look, if you grew like this in 4 years, they going like, oh, we're gonna double that in the next 4. So that is amazing, man. That is amazing to turn things around. So this is your election year.
Yes, sir. This is my election year. Yeah, this is my election year. The election is November 8th. Right here is going to be at all the polling locations. It's going to be at the Beyond Parish Courthouse. Absentee will take place at the Beyond Parish Courthouse in the registrar's office. And I'm asking that you, show a little bit more confidence and a little bit more grace to me, and re-elect me as mayor of Arcadia.
Man, it's man, like I said, it is amazing to hear what you have done in a short period of time. To just and hear the vision that you have for your home. Um,
Yes, sir.
that's man, that speaks volumes. This old country boy from down yonder. My little old place about this him big. So, but
Yeah.
you blank your eye, you gonna miss mine. But
Right.
but it is amazing, to for you to be homegrown and come into the house and say, you know what, man, I feel it, I want it, and this is what we're gonna do. And to talk about, I'm gonna ask you if you could do this, if you could again tell me about because I'm a big community guy, okay, about some of the community programs that you have because here's my thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm big on what we do for the youngins. And why I say that is because what has missed out, in my opinion, just mine, my worthless 2 cents, is that we don't do enough for the youngins. And when they get big uns and they out there doing whatever, then we wants to start complaining. But we hadn't poured into them when they was little uns. So on your behalf, is there something that the city does?
Yes, sir. So in 2019, we partnered with the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Louisiana with Dante Osborne as the director. He's placed Teresa Hudson as the Arcadia director. And like I say, we had the Boys and Girls Club for 2019 and a portion of 2020. Then it got cut off, with the pandemic. We
Right.
just started it back up this summer, and we're looking to go into the school year as well with those are enrichment opportunities for kids to learn social skills, learn etiquettes, table etiquettes, computer knowledge. They help with homework. And it's also an opportunity for kids to grow and experience different things here in Arcadia. We also, like I say, we've been pushing our Parks and Rec program. We are going to kick off our tackle football program coming up here in, I think, next month. Next month, we're going to start kicking off our tackle football program. We're going to host our league again here in Arcadia. And we met with the Parks and Recreation Committee last week, and we tossed some ideas around, even with t-ball and basketball. If we don't get enough kids to sign up to where we have our own league right here in Arcadia, we'll travel either to Ruston or Minden to make sure that we give our kids the opportunity to enjoy those same necessities that other kids are experiencing. Yes, sir. So we're pushing, we're pushing youth. We're pushing even the young adults. When you say young adults, teenagers.
Right.
Um, Basically, the JET program here in Arcadia, jurors empowering teens. We tell them every year, hey, we want somebody to come to the city hall and work because we want them to understand that, hey, you can be the mayor one day, you can be the sheriff one day, or you can be the clerk of court one day. Hey, send us somebody so they'll know the inner working parts of the town of Arcadia and city government and local government.
Man, that's great. That's great. Again,
And even with yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even with our school age kids, we've been in the process. We have field trips. We just recently had a field trip this past summer. I guess right before school got out for summer, with second graders here in Arcadia. We allowed them to host their own town council meeting. They passed some laws that they wanted to see here in Arcadia. We gave them a tour on the working parts of the town hall, from the water department, sewer department, to the inner working parts inside the city hall. Even with the street department, with patching holes and picking up trash, we told them, hey, it's important not to throw trash on the ground because somebody got to pick it up. So even with that, we're working with our youth, and we're trying to, grow our youth and get them to understand, hey, we can be anything that we want to be.
That is so important. That is like one of my, like I said, that's one of my things. There is with the youth and the youngins, and just trying to be there for them. A lot of people think, that's just another thing. But a lot of people say that this country and this generation is gone. Well, it's gone now because we didn't pour nothing into them. And that's why when I have an opportunity to ask
Exactly.
the question is, what do we pour into them? Because for me, when I look at, especially I got a little, my little 3 years old, but I know that my little is gonna be the future. So what do I want my future
Yes,
to look
sir.
like?
Yes, sir.
Whatever I pour into that little, that's what I want my future to look like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that matters. That matters. And I have a 1 year old that's going to be turning two. That's going to be turning two here next month. And my whole thing is, hey, what can I do to make him a better young man? Come up better than the way I came up.
Right.
And I thank God, for my upbringing. I had a praying grandmother. And I tell people all the time, I'm still living off the prayers that she prayed a long time ago. We can't be, successful without prayer.
Right.
And Miss Faye, she was a praying lady. She would send us to school, done it with an R cross on our forehead, praying, hey, I rebuke that demon, and it was one
Yes.
of those things where like, hey, and I appreciate Miss Faye for that, we'll get on the bus, and I see Jazz on the side. My sister, she'll be trying to wipe it off, I'm like, why she wiping her cross off? And I'm ready to go home and tell it, Miss Faye, Jazz wiped her cross off, Yeah, but it was one of those things, to where, like, with a praying grandmother, and we grew up in a praying family, to where, we understood the meaning of putting God first. And here to this day, we still understand that, and the Bible says, I keep you in perfect peace if you keep your eyes stayed on me. And he also said that weapons will form, but they wouldn't prosper. So, like I say, if you live a daily prayer life and understand that concept, then you know that you're going to be faced with obstacles, but those obstacles won't, take over your body, because it says that he won't put more on us than we can bear. And I mean,
Right.
that's just something that's how I live about my daily life. I will keep you in perfect peace, if you keep your eyes stayed on me. Um, and that stuff is important with, every morning when I go to work, because we're gonna be faced with our adversity, we're gonna be faced with problems. And everybody won't like you, everybody
Right.
ain't gonna be, a Bubba fan, everybody ain't gonna agree with what you say, but it's one of those things. I'll keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind stayed on me. And that's what helped me maintain my competence, and my mental competence, with moving Arcadia forward.
Right. And that is it, Mr. Mayor. You said that right there. That was that thing that you said that really is probably, I don't know because I ain't down there, but I will say it's probably not a lot of towns, cities that surround you that talk about let's just have city prayer. I don't know, but I'm telling you that's probably a record breaker. That's probably one of them deals that look here. You probably in the Guinness Book of World Record. They're the only one. I don't know, but that is a thing, and I don't like to get on my preaching thing, but what I'd say is this is that a lot of people miss what the foundation is, and that's it right there. When you can bring the town together and say, hey, you know what, 715, whether it's the one Monday or whatever it is, but that shows not only where the town wants to go, but where you are trying to go and who you are allowing to lead you to that point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, that monthly prayer is important, and we try to invite people out to it every month. When we first started out, I think we had 4 people that came to the monthly prayer. The most recent one we had 8 people there, and we just hope that it continue to grow, and we're not saying, that, hey, we're not turning away from God. God will direct our paths, He will direct our footsteps, and we're gonna follow Him, we want to allow Him to lead, and guide us. And it's some things, that we have to make decisions, that may not line up with the word of God, but we talk to God about those decisions that we make. Yes, sir.
Man, that is amazing. You know what? And I'm gonna tell you, like I told the guest the other night, last night. See what your grandma was doing was laying the foundation for Bubba when he got in office.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the funny thing about that is, man, if you
She
ask
was she was
anybody,
laying that foundation way back then for you when you look when you growed up and you got in office. She said she'd already laid that foundation for you, and that's what it's about. And how for me personally, how I carry myself and the things that I do on a day-to-day basis. It's because of that woman sitting over there behind me. It's because that them fellas, my uncle sitting over there behind me because they might bop me in the back of the head if I act up. But it's because they laid that
yes, sir.
foundation. And for me, in order to honor what they have poured in, there's a way I have to carry myself. Because whether they here or not, I'm not gonna disrespect what they have done in the foundation that they laid. And a lot of people miss that. A lot of people miss it. But this old boy right
Absolutely,
here, man,
absolutely,
that's what it's all about.
absolutely. And it's the crazy part about it, Danny. I'll never forget. My uncle used to always tell us, when we finished high school, Edward Mason Senior, that was my grandmother's brother. He would tell us, "Hey, the only thing you got now from here is your last name. Protect it and make sure you keep it covered." And that's one of those things to where I don't carry the last name Mason, but I am a Mason. My grandmother was a Mason. I carry the last name Millican, and my grandfather is the same way. All you got is your last name Millican. Hey, make sure you protect it and keep it stain free. And that's one of those things to where with God leading us, that's how we're able to do that.
Man, that is that, and that's where it is. That is where it is. Um, Man, I think that what you're doing is not only changing or transforming a town, but with your leadership, with your foundation, you're transforming people's lives. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
thing right
Yes, sir.
there. Transforming people's lives. You know, where you're giving them something. You're giving them one thing that a lot of people talk about: hope, restoring hope.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about, man.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all
Absolutely.
about. Well, look here, Mr. Mayor. I'm gonna shut. I got my favorite over here. I'm gonna shut my old trapper. Look here. I'm gonna give you these last few minutes here. Whatever it is that Mr. Mayor wants to leave out there, whatever you gonna.
Yeah. Like I said, I just want to end by saying, November 8th, make sure, you consider, vote for me, and like I say, it's the honor of grace to me to read at me as Mayor of Arcadia, as we continue to move Arcadia forward. And
That's
again, thank you, Donna, for having me on it.
that's all you got.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. That's it.
My goodness.
Yes, sir. That's it. Yes, sir.
That's it. That's all. Oh, Lord.
Yes, sir. That's it. That's it right there.
Well, look here, man. As I say a lot, I thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for coming on this platform. I thank you for coming and sharing. It is such an honor for you to grace this platform. I thank you so very much. I tell anybody that comes on here, for me, I know that God has breathed on this platform. because if he hadn't, the people that come across here would. And I'm grateful for every guest that I have. Y'all go, whoever may be listening, or might hear today, or might hear tomorrow, or might hear the recording, whatever. As I say about every guest that's come on here, y'all go and support them. Y'all go and support them. You know, the people that I know for sure that have come across here have come across. They came on here openly and they shared their journey, their story, whatever it is, they shared it. They didn't have to, but they came on here and they did it. So I say to you, just go. You can go if they on Facebook, go follow them. They don't care. That's why they're on Facebook. You know, if they put a post up, go like it. The one thing that people miss is that support doesn't have to cost anything. It don't have to cost you a penny to support somebody, to encourage somebody. Because you know what? Every one of us needs some encouragement. At some point in time, don't act like you don't. Everybody needs some encouragement. A little thumbs up, a little pat on the back, a little just keep on going and you're doing good. We all need that. So it don't cost nothing. It don't cost nothing to do it. And that's what we should do. I'm going to say this. You done got me on my old preaching thing. See, that's how we turn this thing around. It's about encouraging and supporting one another. I said it once, I said it twice, and I said it a million more times. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And understand this clearly. What's meant for the mayor is meant for the mayor. What's meant for the country boy is meant for the country boy. So I ain't got no problem with the mayor because the mayor can't get mine and I can't get his. Did you hear what I said? I said what I said. You don't like it, you can turn it off. But I said what I said. By you supporting somebody, don't trust me. If you don't support them, you ain't gonna bring them down because they shall wear a crown. But listen, just support, encouragement, one another. Look here, Mr. Mayor, I thank you so very much once again. I thank you so very much. Mr. Mayor, you know this the last show of the month. You ended the month of July. I ain't got no more shows. They ain't gonna see me no more.
God,
you are the last guest in the month of July. Mr. Mayor closed out the month. I had the Honorable Mayor of Arcadia close out the show for July. Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Look here. When is the election? When is the election,
November 8th.
Mr. Mayor?
Make sure you get out and vote November 8th.
November 8th. Y'all get out and vote November 8th. Y'all go get registered. Y'all go vote. Everybody always talking about, well, my vote don't mean nothing. It don't if you don't cast it. If you don't cast it, it sure don't mean nothing. Trust me, I said that what I said. But anyway, I thank y'all so very much for tuning in. I thank you, Mr. Mayor. I thank you again. As the old country boy said before he gets out of every show, I love each and every one of you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Mr. Mayor, I thank you, sir.